how's it going? I'm Jenny.
Davey here.
And today we are coming to you with all the updates. We are going to first update you all about basically what's going on with us and what we're going to be posting or videos we're going to share. And then we are going to go over the recent information about Arcane and when we can expect that to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are going to talk about the L word, which we've been meaning to talk about for forever. Yeah. But now we have some news about what is going to happen with that moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what do you want to say about updates?
Oh, for us?
For us.
We've just been having some stuff going on with some family things. That's why we haven't actually been updating as often as we usually have been.
Yeah.
So we definitely appreciate your patience and support with us when we are able to post.
Yeah.
We've been just having some things going on here, but we are going to go back to... We'll still have some things going on right now until we're done with probably Sailor Moon. No, Adachi. So we're going to do our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday still. We have been doing Thursday Sailor Moon, and once Adachi and Shimono is over, we're going to switch Sailor Moon to Friday.
Yeah, and we have been posting Warrior Nun on Tuesdays. So we used to post like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we're going to get back to that. Sometimes we'll have Tuesday, Thursday, and sometimes some fun short updates.
Yeah, and then right now for Monday, a lot of you did give us more stuff for Free and Becky, so we'll check a look of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that's been depleted, we'll go ahead and start on with
England.
Yes. Which I'm excited to check out because it seems like some of you in the comments said it's going to be very different from Gap. A couple people said that it feels like a roller coaster of like cutesy wootsy stuff. Apparently, England is like really intense.
Oh. Okay, buckle the seatbelt, get the chocolate.
Buckle the seatbelt, get the chocolate.
Are we going to need tissues? Yes or no?
I kind of feel like because we only watched like that one trailer, and there was already a lot of emotion.
We'll link that too if you want to check out.
There was already a lot of feeling, in my opinion, going into watching that. So I kind of feel like we'll probably need tissues, chocolate, breaks, like snuggle breaks and stuff after watching it.
Yeah.
And we will be doing Life is Strange, of course, still on a Wednesday.
Yes.
We are really having fun with that game.
Yeah.
Gotta apprate Chloe.
Yeah, exactly.
So much fun with that.
Yeah. And then Fridays are gonna always be anime days.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can't say always. But we are still planning to continue Friday Anime Day.
Yeah.
We are going to go back and forth between Adachi and Shimamura and Sailor Moon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's talk a little bit about Arcane. So there's been some news circulating.
Yeah, so...
for at least like the past week or two.
Yeah, this has been about for a little while now. And before we talk about what I found with the article is that I'm not surprised by this news. Because just to go ahead and let you all know, Arcane Season 2 will not be happening this year. And for me, this is a video game company. They've done an amazing job with Arcane. They've got, of course, other things going on. And they did say something along the lines of, like, some episodes have been, like, created, but we don't know if they're, like, polished or ready.
Right.
And my thing is very much with a video game company when they're making video games, if it's not ready, it's not ready. I know a lot of people are very disappointed about this news because they did say it wouldn't come out in 2022, so therefore like 2023. But they didn't say that either. They just said it wouldn't take 6 years.
Yeah.
So I was already kind of expecting, because with the anniversary and everything, we really didn't have any news. I'm thinking, I don't think we're gonna get anything, especially when Netflix had their event and there really wasn't anything.
Are you talking about the Geek event?
Yeah. They didn't have anything with Arcane Season 2. So we'll get it when it's ready, whenever that may be, maybe next year, maybe 2025.
Yeah.
Whenever it's ready, because, I mean, would you rather have Arcane come out and it's just, like, not as good as the first season?
Yeah.
Or would you rather just wait?
Yeah, I'd rather wait.
As being a gamer, I've had a lot of times where this game is coming out and I'm really excited about it, and they've delayed it for, like, another year, and I'm like, oh, well, gosh, be done. Kingdom Hearts 3 being a wonderful case in that game took forever to finally come out. Part of me can't help but wonder they waited that long because of Organization 13. Like the years. So yeah, but we did find some information about it, and we're gonna go ahead and share this article and read it with you all, because, you know, as much as we love Arcane, if not ready, I know you wouldn't want to see it until it's like actually ready.
To be honest with you, I think when Arcane Season 2 comes out, I feel like it's gonna be the sense of my world shifting. Like, seeing Arcane the first season was so impactful to me and, like, emotionally, like, significant that being with the fact that only one season out has become a sense of a state of being. And when another season comes out, I feel like I'm going to really have to shift my brain and like sense of state of being to open up to the second season. So for those of you all who have found us more recently, we literally started our whole channel to talk about Arcane because we literally were, when it first came out, we watched it and we were just talking about it nonstop. We're like, yeah, and like we were like, well, maybe we should just open it up and share our thoughts with other people on YouTube. And so for a long time, all we did was make videos about Arcane and share our thoughts and go deep into, and we had a video too of our like reaction to the scenes of Caitlin and Vi. We'll link that because that was a really fun one. It was early on, like one of the first videos we made.
It was.
And yeah, it just like, so my brain has wrapped so much around the information we have in season 1 and analyzing and going deep into what we have so far, that when season 2 comes out, I really feel like it's going to be like a prying open of my psyche to accept this new information into the vault that is Arcane.
I can't believe I had to convince you to watch it. I'm so amused by that. Yeah. You're just like, yeah, I'll give it an episode or 2, and then you just watch it without me. All right. I mean, you know, and then it was like, just in the first episode, you were hooked.
Yeah.
You were like, let's watch more. So yeah, for me, I don't play League, but I know of its existence. I was excited to see like another video game adaptation because, as I mentioned before, they usually don't do a very good job of video game adaptations. However, it does seem Arcane has set the scale for other companies to make something. I will say though, Advent Children from Final Fantasy VII was amazing. Good. So that definitely was the one that did well, but not a lot of them have done well. So, and I haven't seen. I think someone said there's a Prince of Persia. I haven't seen that. And I think Assassin's Creed made one. I haven't seen that either. Those are both games I did play. So it'd be interesting to see like how different. Last of Us apparently has done exceptionally well.
Yeah, that's something we're gonna check that out at some point. About too. Yeah. Yeah. We do have that on our list.
We have it on our list
to get to.
But anyway, yeah. So no Arcane in season 2 in 2023. But like, if it's not ready, it's not ready. And when we finally get it, the world will shift. Everything will be all like rainbows everywhere.
Do you feel that way too?
Yeah, I do feel like that to a point. I mean, the thing about me is, you know, I can't binge it, so I'm gonna be so sad about that, because when Netflix releases something, I'm like, let's just binge it! Unless I'm watching it with you, and we can't really binge it unless you're ready to binge it.
Yeah, I'm a little less of a binger.
It depends on the content.
To take some breaks.
It depends on the content. You will binge Sailor Moon all day. Do not even with that Sailor Moon channel.
But I'll have it playing, but I'll be like doing other things too. So it's not active attention, and it's something that I've seen before. So it's not watching for the first time. Yeah, because I like to do a lot of crafting and things like that. And so typically, what I watch while I'm crafting is something that's in English, because we watch a lot of anime and other foreign content, but I'll watch something in English that I can kind of listen to while I'm doing things, and just let it play and play and play. Yeah. Which is different from really actively watching something.
Yeah, although I will say Outer Banks binged.
Yeah.
The Viking show binged. So there's definitely some shows you're just like gonna sit and just Valhalla. You'll just sit there and just watch it.
But I didn't watch it all the way like to the very end. I'll watch a few at a time.
Outer Banks you did.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Because I watched it with you.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, I just really like story, and when I get pulled, and if everything of that series is out, I will want to watch it, and that's just kind of how it is. So if there's a show we're both into, I'll be like, I don't know, wait. Like, we just finished watching Night Agent, and I had one more episode left, and you weren't around, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna wait. My friend's like, have you finished watching? No, don't tell me anything. Don't say anything.
Yeah.
So
let's check out this article though. Yeah. So you're a little bit less that way than me.
I mean, I guess it kind of depends on what it is. Cause
no. I'm talking about Arcane. Is your whole world gonna shift?
It probably could.
It probably could.
I mean, I have to see like what's gonna happen. As far as we have right now, we just have obviously the information that we've given, and then we have that little small sneak peek. That's all we've got. However, off topic, but I did wait like 2 years for them finally release the volume 9 of Ruby, so I'm kind of used to the whole thing of. But when it keeps coming out, I was like, can't binge that either because it wasn't out all at once, but I was super excited, and I was like, I'm canceling everything. I have no idea what's going on there.
Everything's canceled.
So we found this here, and we will definitely link the article link in the description, and it's Arcane Season 2 delay, finally explained, and what to expect next. And I believe this...
And there's a really pretty picture of Caitlyn and Vi. Oh my god.
Just like, just that.
She's holding Vi
You know
up.
Vi was really hurt in that picture,
I
right?
know. She's holding her up. It's so sweet. Aw, Caitlin's like so serious, but she's like, I got you.
Oh, it reminds me of like when you have the scene in Arcane when Vi is like, I've got this, and she tries to jump off, and she gets hit a few times, and Caitlin's like, like all right, so let's get into this. The second season of the acclaimed animation series will be delayed.
I'm so
Yeah, you're fine. But for all of a good cause, the series adaptation of League of Legends was one of the biggest animation events of 2021.
This is animated. I keep bugging her.
It doesn't matter. Animated. It's fine. I've got anime on the brain, okay?
You said animation.
Oh, yeah.
This
you
is
said
animated.
Animation. Okay, animated. Yeah, it's fine. Netflix Arcane was renewed for a second season. That's right. You have a wife. This is what you get. Right after the end of the first one. While viewers and critical reviews have been impeccable since its release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to read some?
If you want. Unless you want me to read the entire time and you can just be like, animation.
Yeah, let me kick back.
Okay. Riot Games will not be able to release a second season of the Arcane animated series before the end of 2023. This was announced by the head of the studio, Nicolo Laurent, in an interview on Bilibili platform. According to the CEO of Riot Games, the company initially had doubts about the success of the first season. I can see that, because here's the thing. You're a video game company, and not only are you not outsourcing, like, this being made completely, you're actually really deeply involved. You know, you are having Fortiche and other people, like, help you make the series. But you're still, like, going blind into this, which is why the first season took 6 years.
Yeah.
So I can see why they make this beautiful series, and then they're just like, we're not really quite sure. Because here's the thing. You can make a beautiful game, tell a wonderful story and all these things, and it can still get review bombed.
Yeah.
So game companies have kind of like a when it comes to stuff like that.
And what they made was quite unique.
Yeah, that's the thing that sets it apart from like basically taking an adaptation of a game, right? What's based off of League of Legends, which does have story in that other League of Legends game. I can't remember the name of it right now off the top of my head. But, like, they didn't really have anything to really go by except for, like, little bits of story here and there. And they made, like, an 8-episode show. So it's just like, damn, dude, with not as much lore that we know about, there very well could be more. But it's really impressive, especially because, from my understanding, League is a MOBA, so you just, like, fight people and stuff and towers. I don't know. But, yeah, so it's pretty cool that they were able to make with this. Yeah. So I can see why they're just like, while it looks really cool and shiny and pretty and we like it, it doesn't necessarily mean our fans and the public in general are going to like it. Because there's too many times now in this day and age, especially with really pretty video games, and people are just like, oh, that's so awful. Why wasn't it made the way I wanted it? So, unfortunately. So I can see why they weren't sure about it. But honestly, like, they had no idea. Yeah. So it did not stop production of the sequel before the premiere. In addition, the authors of the series paid great attention to the quality of the show and are not in a hurry with the releases.
Can you imagine if there was just one season of Arcane? Can you imagine if it ended there?
I have actually thought about this before.
It would hurt.
It would hurt, but...
So bad.
But... I also take it into other shows that we really got into. Like, was it Valorant that we really liked on Netflix? It was so freaking good. And it had a cliffhanger and never got renewed. So
they just drop it there.
They just drop it there. If they did this with Arcane,
it would hurt.
It would hurt a lot. If they really wanted to, and I know we talked about this before, they could have just made episode 1 to 3 a series. That's it.
That could have.
They could have made a movie, and that's all you get. And then they could have released it.
Or even just those 3 episodes.
Yeah. And that's all you get till whenever they're ready to give you more, right? But thankfully they didn't do that. But yeah, it would have hurt if they decided not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. As a result, only 3 episodes of the second season have been completed. Okay, so they do have 3 episodes that are currently completed of the second season, which probably will also have 8 episodes, maybe? I know, right?
Want so bad.
Oh, well, you're going to want to see more now. I just watched the 3rd episode of season 2 before my flight to China. We're making progress on it. It's not ready yet. There are 2 reasons for that. You want the quality. We just don't want to rush. And so that takes time, and that's a good reason, Lawrence said. In the announcement for the second season of Arcane, you can hear the voices of actress Haley Steinfeld, Ella Purnell, and Katie. This directly indicates that their characters will appear in the new episodes, like sisters Vi and Jinx, and the Peacemaker from Piltover, Caitlin. According to the plot, their appearance is the most logical in the first season of Arcane. The conflict between Vi and Jinx was not resolved. Well, I mean, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
The first season contained several plot elements that were not revealed all at once, and the final episode, The Monster You Created, left more questions than... Yeah, it really did. As a result, the plot of the second season may go in several directions at once. At the end of episode... Oh, sorry, 9 episodes, not 8. 9. Jinx uses a Hex Tech crystal to upgrade her weapon and shoots at Piltover. Along with Vi and Caitlin onlookers, watch as her missile hits the Piltover Council. By the time most of the Arcane characters are there, Jace, Victor, Mel, and other members of the council. Excuse me, Cassandra's there.
Yeah, that also.
According,
it's like, we know this, and it hurts.
I know. According to League of Legends canon, Jace and Victor must survive the attack. These characters exist in LoL in the form of champions, which are playable characters, which is true. Up to this point, the only characters that have died are characters that are not actually part of the game. So it'll be interesting. It would be, you know what, I don't know about Jace and Victor, but it would be interesting if one of them didn't make it, because then that would break the rule of so far everyone who's survived has been in the game.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, I don't know. I mean, Victor apparently has a lot more going. Jace's story's a little been told, but it would just be interesting. They're also shown in the show at the beginning of their journey, far from their final form in the game. The survival of other politicians is in question, which means that someone will have to make important decisions about the fate of Piltover almost done. And there's a video where you can watch the trailer.
Yeah, and we watched that, so if you want to check it out, we'll link it in the cards.
Yeah, so it's just really interesting because, I mean, they do have stuff that they've worked on. Well, it sounds like the 3 episodes of season 2 are actually completed, so they're all shining. But honestly, I think we'd rather have the 9 episodes or how many they've given us, just because of the fact that it just makes more sense to wait. But yeah, I don't know. I think Mel really won't. I don't know, because if we go back to last episode 9 and we see that Shink and the armor Shing, I feel like she might live. It would be sad to see Mel die. I mean, yes, we have learned a lot about her backstory. Like, you know, we learned what happened as a child. We learned what happened to that girl she wanted to save if she was going to be a leader and show, you know, that we don't murder all these people. And her mother was like, off with her head, quite literally. Yeah, that sucked. That girl is really cool design too, so it was sad to see. So there are characters that have had their arcs already kind of said. So someone like Mel theoretically could be killed off, but it would suck because then Jace wouldn't have Mel anymore.
Right.
Someone like Jace, he's also had a lot of story told though. I know he's got a lot more going on in the game, but still he has had a lot of his backstory told. Victor, a little bit. I am curious to see what's going to happen with him with that. And yeah, Cassandra, we don't know because she's more a side character, but I really want her to live. And I don't know much about the other council members, so they're just there.
Yeah. Well, we know that Caitlin is pretty upset sounding.
Yeah, if you go to the teaser, that she seems like she's going out for blood, because if only one of us come back in a box, if only she goes after Jinx.
So it seems like it could be...
Her mother could be dead or early
injured.
hurt.
So the next thing we're going to talk about here is the L word Gen Q. And we've been meaning to talk about the L word for forever.
Yeah.
But now it's canceled.
Yeah, so, Generation Q got canceled, and we will admit that with the last season there were a little bit of hiccups, but it still had a lot of interesting plot, story, and characters to continue on, and especially with that freaking cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So we were very surprised, actually, because it had 3 seasons up to this point, and we're just like, well, of course they're not going to cancel it. However, doing a little bit of research, it appears that Showtime hasn't renewed any of their shows that aired in 2023. So it's just kind of like a thing that they are doing. But yeah, we really do like the L Word Generation Q. I thought it was really well done.
We liked a lot of things about it.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I liked it.
Overall,
I would say that there were things about it that I liked. I think on one hand it was really interesting to be able to... You're not putting the article up, I'll say here.
I will, but not yet.
Not yet. To be able to revisit those characters that were around in the original series and to have a continuation of their stories, even though a lot of it wasn't consistent with their stories and things they'd said in the original series. Yeah, there were definitely some inconsistencies, but it was really a treat to be able to see them continue their stories.
Yeah, and then we got like a new cast of characters that were very interesting in their own way as well. And what was nice about this season is we do see a lot of those the newer characters start to branch off with their own stories more so than just focusing on, you know, characters from the original, which they're wonderful to see all the time. But it was nice when you have like other people and it's like, hey, let's check out their story too. Yeah. Although there were a couple of the stories that I was just like, that makes absolutely no sense. Yeah. Why'd you go in that direction? Right. I still don't know. It was really odd.
Yeah, toward the end, I think things started getting a little bit like kind of not what for us. Okay, let's backtrack. So we're big shippers of Finley and Sophie. Yes. And that's kind of controversial, I think. But we are big fans of them.
So is like shipping your cousins.
What?
Sailor Moon.
Oh, Sailor Moon. Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole different can of worms. Is. A whole different can of worms. But anyway, the fact is that I thought that it was really special that their story went somewhere, right? Yeah. That they started out as these buddies who are like really great friends with, I thought, a lot of chemistry as friends, and then they evolved into more. And you could see them being able to be themselves with each other. And I feel like it was like such a special thing to come out of the L Word Gen Q, to have this new pairing that I felt had a lot of chemistry, had a lot of, like, I was very interested in. And this is a spoiler if you haven't seen it yet. Yeah, but in this last season, they crumble.
Yeah, and it's weird because I wonder too, because we'll read the article as to why, but apparently the creator wants to work on something more original-ish with the original L Word, so I'm wondering if they decided to make their relationship crumble because they already knew there wasn't going to be another season.
I don't know. I wish they would have given it a freaking happy ending. Because there's an episode. The reason, here's what upsets me, is that the reason that they gave for them breaking up didn't make any sense.
No! It made no sense whatsoever. Because if you look at Sophie, and Danny, you know, love or hate or whatever, Sophie couldn't be herself with Danny. She couldn't communicate with Danny. She would try to, and Danny was just so fixated on work that she just couldn't give her the attention. So Finley was able to give her that. And then, of course, in season 2, it's more about, like, all of them getting together, and just, we're like, oh, yeah, they're together, great. And then season 3 happens, and there's this one specific episode where they go on some kind of retreat, and it's just kind of like they pull the rug from under your feet with the personality change of the imaginary characters in that.
So, basically what happens, and again, this is a spoiler. If you haven't watched it yet, and you don't want to get spoiled,
the video here.
Stop here and go watch it. But, basically, like, Sophie goes on this ayahuasca journey and has this whole vision of Finley being someone she's not
at all, and
saying things that we've never heard her say, and having this like really toxic personality that she just doesn't have. No. Like, she has traits that she's working on. Yeah. That she's owned up to, that she's working on. She's working through her stuff. Yeah. She's working through it real hard. But the way that Sophie envisioned Finley in her vision is not how Finley actually is.
Yeah, that's problematic.
And then Sophie decides to leave her for because of the version of Finley that she saw in this vision. It's not how Finley actually is. So she, like, broke up with the vision Finley by breaking up with the actual Finley, who hadn't really done anything that I think was, especially at that time, worthy of leaving her for.
I mean, if you're gonna go to, like, when it should have happened, it never should have anyway, but it would have been more in season 2.
Yeah, when she was kind of being
spiraling, like, all the time, continuously spiraling, and she gets help that she needs, and we go to season 3, where she's, like, you know, a better version of herself. And it's just like, did they really just do that? Like, out of all of the visions that they had, although I didn't really like, Shane's either. I thought that was ridiculous, too. I liked Alice's. Alice's was
yeah,
sweet.
that was really
that was so
special.
emotional.
That was really
but it was really
special.
sad to see that happen. So that was pretty early on in the season. So we were wondering, will they or won't they? And there were like hints, like you know, going to talk, or maybe
and they had
won't.
like really sweet moments together, and
They
we
still
were like,
did.
oh, they still have that chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And then they ended up pairing Sophie with Pippa out of nowhere.
Possibly.
Yeah, they were kind of like starting. They
yeah,
were flirting.
They were flirting at the very
They were
least.
flirting.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's kind of like out of the blue.
Yeah.
When you've been building up these two and their relationship since season 1 of Gen Q.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's something that they built through this show that they just kind of like let fall apart.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of people for this was the 3rd season, right? That came out. Just losing heart and losing faith in this show. People who are big fans. A lot of YouTubers who have been covering it really excitedly.
Yeah.
This 3rd season, not because they're fans of Sinley like us, really, typically. I mean, obviously some people are.
Yeah, there are definitely some people.
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of people just losing heart with the show because of this 3rd season.
Yeah.
There were things about it that I loved. There were things about it that I did not love. Something that was a pleasant surprise is, like, when I was in high school, I was a theater geek. And, like, in musical theater, one of the things that we learned is that what makes musical theater kind of special and what's, like, exciting about it is that they use the music to move the story along. And say things that they're having so many feelings about that they can't put into words, so they sing and dance and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so when I saw there was a musical episode, I was like, okay, is this gonna serve a purpose, right? Like, I was like, is this just gonna be for, like, the glitz and glam of it and very surface level?
Yeah.
And just like, oh, that's pretty candy, you know, brain candy.
Yeah.
Or is it gonna actually move the storyline?
Yeah.
And I was pleasantly surprised to find out that it did move the storyline.
Yeah.
Not in ways that I wanted it to, like causing Sinley's breakup.
That was so bad.
But anyway, I definitely wanted to have that said that I was pleasantly surprised by that episode, but unpleasantly surprised by the results of how it all played out.
Yeah, because it really made no sense. Because Finley came back and she's working on herself. She got herself a cast. She got herself a job. And she was really trying to better herself. And, you know, Sophie did have a one-night stand with someone. And, of course, that did upset her. But Finley was like, okay, well, you know, these things happen. Let's move on from this. And then, you know, they seemed that everything was going great. And then this retreat happened. And it's like, well, that's... Dang it. I know, right? Yeah, so unfortunately we won't get to, like, know. There are some times, though, when show creators will, like, say, this would have happened had we gotten another season. So I'm hoping maybe we can get more information about that. Because it would have been interesting to see what would have happened, especially with the cliffhanger at season 3. Spoiler, it's very intense. Yeah. And there's a character that may or may not have survived. We don't know.
Yeah. They left it hanging in the freaking air.
Yeah.
Cannot. But what, we do have an article here about it.
We do have an article about this.
Yeah.
And this was actually...
Let's take a quick look.
Take a quick gander at it. It was posted on March 23rd at, time of recording. So... We're going to go ahead and read it here. The Elder Generation Q.
So you're saying it was like about a month ago.
Yeah.
By time of recording.
Yeah. Generation Q canceled after 3 seasons. New York set reboot of original with Eileen
Shaken.
in works at Showtime. She just knows. So, exclusive. Showtime has opted not to renew the Elder Generation Q for the 4th season. However, the franchise may continue on the network. The L Word New York, working title, a reboot of the groundbreaking original series. Is developed with the 2004 series creator Eileen, expected to involve in some capacity.
To be involved.
I hear.
Okay, so Eileen is going to be involved.
So she's going to be involved. So it looks like they may be doing something else with the L Word. I guess my problem is this was already a reboot, so you're making another reboot, and you want it in New York. Could you just have finished like Gen Q and then do a reboot? Just saying. The Older Generation Q's cancellation comes 2 months after the series' 3rd season ended its run. No Showtime series has been renewed since the January announcement that the premier cable network will be integrated into Paramount Plus across both streaming and linear later this year, renamed as Paramount Plus with Showtime. Okay, so I'm kind of feeling it might not have been the fact that, you know, the season wasn't as popular as the previous ones, but more the direction, because if nothing has been renewed at Showtime at this point, seems like anybody who was like into these Showtime shows are just gonna axe them off. Because they're...
I'm okay stopping the article there, because that's what we kind of wanted to get across. McCarthy. Okay. Apparently... Yeah. Oh, I want to check this out. More information? Oh, Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, that looks interesting. Elward appeared to fit into McCarthy's plan, when he first unveiled at the time of the Yellow Jackets December renewal. I haven't actually seen it yet, but apparently that's pretty good. The Elward and the... Okay. Interesting.
What is interesting?
I'm just skimming it. They're saying the Elward was no longer mentioned when the plans detailed by McCarthy's month later. So it looks like initially they did kind of expect it to keep on being renewed. Okay. But for whatever reason, the IP is primarily focused on a new programming strategy. Okay, Reboot joins recently announced. Okay, so there's other things that'll be coming out. Obviously, another Dexter. Okay, whatever.
Okay, then.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, so basically, it's been canceled.
Yeah,
They're gonna do a thing. They're looking to do a thing in New York. I think since the original Elward show got canceled, like, no one really wanted it to end. They had been talking about doing a spin-off series with Alice.
They did.
And her character, and that ended up not happening.
Yeah, that's true.
They did that Elward, Mississippi.
Mentions it right there.
Oh, yeah, there it is. And then the real Elward. So they kind of, like, have been trying to keep something going. Yeah. Ever since the Elward. But yeah, here we are, and they did finally get a reboot. I liked so much about it. There were things about it I obviously didn't like.
Yeah, well, that's with any kind of a show. Yeah. You know, there's things you like and things you don't like and things you're just kind of like, why did that just happen? That makes no sense. Yeah. I feel like, though, initially they did plan on continuing this from what we just read, so it's too bad that, you know, they have changed the direction. And I want to check out Yellow Jackets now, which is not related to this whatsoever, but it seems interesting. Yeah. Maybe it's gay.
I think it is.
Oh, okay then. Yes, I want to check it out. But yeah, it is sad to see it because we always would get excited. We watched the first one together and we were just like, yeah, this is so good. There's so many crazy moments. And season 2 came out.
About the first season.
Yep, of Generation Q. Okay. And then we watched all that out too. And then the third one, and we were just like waiting. And then we were like, yeah, of course they're gonna renew it. I mean, hello, there was a huge cliffhanger.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were worse cliffhangers. Remember when the cliffhanger happened with Sinley? It was a Sinley cliffhanger.
That's true.
That would have been much worse to never find out.
Yeah, where she was going.
Yeah,
because that was the first one. Yeah, where Sophie was gonna go, and we actually, when we watched the first episode of season 2, we were like, oh my gosh, she actually went there. Yeah. That was a whole case of drama. But it is sad because I did want to kind of know.
A whole case of drama.
Yeah, just like a whole case. Like she took that whole suitcase with her drama. Oh, that season 2 was such a, oh my gosh, it was all over the place. But it was so good though. Yeah. And then, you know, I really want to know what happened to the character at the end of season 3. I'm sorry, but I do. Like, unfortunately that character started getting a little bit, like, annoying. That's all I'll say about that. Yeah. Just because, you know, there are characters I definitely do find annoying in shows, and I'm just kind of like, are you serious? You're going to do the same plot point again? It's like, again? Yeah. That's kind of why. Yeah. Yeah, so that was a hot mess. But the season was still good for the most part. Yeah.
So, things about it were good for the most part.
Yeah, things.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what we have for you all today as far as all the updates. So, new posting schedule. More Arcane stuff coming out, and as we find out more,
it'll be interesting to see.
Very excited to discuss with you all.
Yes, they can just give us another 40-second teaser, and I would just be okay with that. They don't have to put like any like actual characters in it. They can do the fancy A again, and then they can have voice acting, and we can just have an idea of what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some more trailers. For sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I wonder if they have 9 episodes again.
Yeah, I would think so. They have their formula. I would think that they would do 9 episodes again, but we shall see.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So thanks you all so much for watching. Please let us know what you think about all these updated bits of information about Arcane, about the L word in the comment section below. We'd love to stay in touch with you, so please subscribe if you haven't already. Look forward to connecting with you again soon, and we'll be sending so much love. Till next time.
Laters.